What's up, Alcien wrestling fans all around the globe? Navarro here, wanting to welcome you guys to this month's edition of the Alcien Wrestling Pay Per View Preview Podcast episode. And in this podcast episode, we're going to be talking about the matches that are taking place tomorrow at NXT Takeover Portland. And in my opinion, this kind of gives me like I don't know, like a big kind of pay per view vibes. Um, because it's the first NXT takeover we are getting that's on a Sunday. And not only because it's on a Sunday, I mean this match, this whole pay-per-view, it's looking pretty stacked. And I feel like in my opinion the main roster should be taking notes because man, we got some matches that could be main event matches. Let's get started, guys. Let's get started. Now, the first match that I will be reviewing is the tag team match for the NXT Tag Team Championships. And now, in this match, we have the Broserweights, um, which are Matt Riddle and Pete Dunne taking on Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish. Now, this match came to be when the Broserweights, Matt and Pete, essentially won the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic and earned their spots to face Bobby and Kyle for the championships. Now, in my opinion, this is looking like a pretty exciting match, um, a pretty good opening match in my opinion. I feel like Matt and Pete, just kind of it's a tag team that goes good together. Um, like every other tag team that has won. At first, I didn't expect them to win. I thought maybe like a team from NXT UK would probably take it, but I'm kind of excited and I'm glad that NXT and Triple H and other people who help book the NXT Takeover and NXT the whole NXT roster. I'm glad they went down this route because this is this could potentially set us up for if Pete and Matt Riddle end up winning, I'm kind of excited to see them as tag team champions. We've never seen Pete or Matt coexist other than the tournament, like in a as a tag team or with anybody else as a tag team. So this would be a pretty good route to go down. Or if they lose, I feel like if they end up losing, in my opinion, I feel like this is a perfect way for P Dunne to turn heel and kind of set up a match at NXT Takeover Tampa. So either way, whatever happens in this match, I'm very excited to see what happens, and this has the tendency of becoming like the match of the night. So I have big expectations for this match. Big expectations. And following the tag team match, we also have a former tag team within Tegan Knox taking on Dakota Kai in a street fight. I believe this is the first ever women's street fight in NXT, and I'm pretty excited for this match. This match first came to be when Dakota Kai initially turned heel and turned on her team at NXT Takeover War Games back in 2019, and this could potentially set up either Dakota or Tegan Knox, if not both, for to see who's next in the title run for the NXT Women's Championship. Because I believe Triple H doesn't, in my opinion, Triple H doesn't give these kind of matches to superstars who he believes that can't you know work under or show their best assets in. So I believe that Tegan and Dakota are gonna put on a show for us. Um, like I said, At first, whenever Dakota turned on Tegan and her team at NXT Takeover, at first I was like kind of bummed out because I was like, I wanted to kind of see them as NXT, not NXT or as a whole, like WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. Um, but hey, stranger things have happened. They can find their way back to being Team Kick again. But for now, like as this storyline between these two superstars have played out, I'm kind of excited to see where it's gonna take them. Whether or not this match, whether or not this, whoever wins this match, I believe it's gonna be a good match. Um, do I think it'll possibly set up a match for NXT Takeover Tampa, Florida? Probably not. But anyway, this match ends. I don't care if Dakota or Tegan win. I just want them to show off. You know why Triple H has given this opportunity to them. And yeah, I'm just very excited to see how this match plays out. And I just can't wait for Sunday. Now the next match on the card is uh, the new NXT North American Champion Keith Lee defending his newly won North American Championship against Dominic Dijakovic. In my opinion, I didn't expect for this match to happen as quick as it did. Um, Basically, just solely on the fact because I was like, well, what happened to the rematch between Keith and Roderick Strong? But you know, as I thought about it, I'm like, this may be like a setup for our next NXT Takeover pay per view where we may see Roderick kind of interfere, setting up basically, I don't know, a triple threat match, a fatal four way match where they include Velveteen because Velveteen, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I believe he didn't get his rematch for his the championship either. So this could probably be a setup between all four of these members to basically put on a show for us in the next pay per view. But either way, regardless on how this match ends, I'm very excited to see how Keith Lee and Dominic perform under the big lights of that NXT has become. They've they've had many matches, and every matches that they've had taken place in has been kind of like, in my opinion, a 5-star caliber match. So adding the North American Championship and adding the whole dynamic of the whole NXT Takeover pay per view aspect to this match, I believe that this match could basically be, in my opinion, the match of the night. Because, man, these guys, every time they go out and participate, whether if they're in matches against each other or against other superstars, I believe that they put on a show and they deserve the spotlight. But yeah, I'm very excited to see how this match plays out. Whether Keith wins, whether or he loses, it'll be a beneficial for both of them because not only, in my opinion, do I think Keith Lee deserves to be in the main roster right now, but I'm very excited to see also how Dominic Dijakovic, if he wins, how he will take this new role as North American champion. I think it's also very soon for Keith Lee to lose the title, but hey, we never know how the minds of the WWE creative bookers or NXT creative writers work. So either way, I'm excited to see how this match plays out. Now the next match that is on this pay-per-view card, we have Finn Balor taking on Johnny Gargano. Man, this match may be the most anticipated match that I've been waiting for to see because um, I guess how the storyline is taking place. It was supposed to take place back at NXT Takeover War Games, but Johnny wasn't able to compete, so we never really had that match take place. And for a while, in my opinion, I thought that this match would have probably never wasn't going to happen in a pay per view state or in a pay per view dynamic. But I'm definitely glad to see that they waited till NXT Takeover Portland for this match to happen. Essentially, we all know that Finn turned heel on Johnny and Tommaso, and Johnny ever since has been looking for retribution and to get his hands on Finn. So I'm very excited to see what Johnny does in this match. As the same as Finn, ever since his return, he's been on a roll. Um, so yeah, this match is one of the most anticipated for me, if not the most anticipated for me, because I love both of their styles of wrestling when they take on other opponents. Now, when it gets me excited because just thinking about both of their wrestling styles mixing in together in one match. That's what I'm waiting for to see. I don't know who's going to win, um, but I'm gonna enjoy watching this match. I'm very excited to see this match. Now, following the match with Johnny and Finn Balor, we have Rhea Ripley defending her NXT Women's Championship against Bianca Belair. Now, this match, it could go many ways. Um, Solely because, in my opinion, this is, if I'm not mistaken, Bianca Belair's third shot at the NXT Women's Championship. This could possibly be, three times the charm, but I don't see it since Rhea's been, kind of picking at Charlotte Flair to be basically telling Charlotte to challenge her for her NXT Women's Championship at WrestleMania. Um, then again, if a triple threat of if a triple threat match happens at WrestleMania for the NXT Women's Championship, I could be that would be perfectly fine because if you guys don't remember, Bianca Belair put on a show at the Royal Rumble. I believe she had like 8 eliminations in that night. Um, and if I'm not mistaken, again, that's the most eliminations that a woman has had so far inside of the Royal Rumble match. But then again, I don't see it happening. I believe that they're probably gonna have her stick around at least one more year before they either give her the NXT Women's Championship or move her up to the main roster. Um, Solely because, in my opinion, I feel like she should be women's champion um, by now. But either way, whether Rhea or Bianca win, this match, like every other match that we are having at this pay per view on Sunday, I believe it has a tendency of becoming um, a match of the night. Um, I love the way Bianca performs at NXT. Not only regular NXT matches, but in pay per views as well. We've seen her at War Games. I love the way she performed in the War Games match, even though they lost. I love the way she performed in the Royal Rumble and the Fatal Four Way with Dakota Kai, not Dakota Kai, Io Shirai and Kairi Sane and Shayna Baszler for the NXT Women's Championship. The way she performed when she went off 1-on-1 against Shayna and for the NXT Women's Championship, she put on a show. And to be honest, I'm expecting the exact same thing on Sunday. And Rhea's um, wrestling style is also something that I love to watch too. Um, the way she performed at Worlds Collide against Tony Storm, the way she performed in the War Games match when she won, or her team won a Survivor Series, and every match she's had since she's stepped into the WWE, taking back to all the way back to the Mae Young Classic and her days as in the NXT UK roster. Um, these are two superstars that put on a show, whether they're facing each other or anybody else. So this match has me very excited, and I can't wait till Sunday to see how it plays out. And in the main event, we have Tommaso Ciampa challenging Adam Cole for the NXT Championship. Oh, this match to me has been very anticipated, and I've been waiting a very long time to see this match between these two superstars played out. Um, Ever since his return, I feel like Tommaso has been dead set on getting Goldie back, and I don't know. I want to see him be NXT champion again. I feel like with this injury, even though he held it for quite a while, I believe he still had more within him when it came to holding the NXT championship, and this is a perfect way also for. I mean, if Adam Cole loses on Sunday, I feel like this would be a good way for him to lose the championship, because Tommaso never lost the title, so he's been waiting for his his rematch, and WrestleMania is just around the corner, so you know the Undisputed Era going up to the main roster, I believe is something that's going to happen either before, during, or right after WrestleMania, and this would be a perfect way for the Undisputed Era to make kind of their move towards the main roster picture. Um, but hey, it's these pay per views. You can never tell what's gonna happen, because they always hit you with twists. Like I said, Tommaso can lose, and he can be taken up to the main roster. But either way, no matter how this match ends, I believe we're gonna be in for a hell of a main event, and I'm very excited to see how this whole pay per view plays out. So we can only wait to see what happens. Now that does it for this month's NXT Takeover edition of the pay per view preview podcast episode. Hope you guys enjoyed listening to my opinions and what I have to say on this pay per view. I'm definitely excited to see how this whole pay per view plays out tomorrow. I'm in. I I have very very high expectations for how this pay per view is gonna play out because, like I said before, all of these matches are stacked. All of these matches can have the potential to be the opener or the main event. Not saying that any matches in between aren't good. I'm just saying they all have the main event. They're all in the main event category, and to see all these matches play out in one pay per view, man, I'm very, very, very excited. I haven't been this excited in a long time for an NXT Takeover pay per view. Now, don't forget to also like and subscribe to my channel. You can also go on and find us on Instagram at Alcien Wrestling, and see the superstars that I have chosen to win this pay per view. That's something that'll be up if by tonight. So yeah, definitely don't forget to go follow us on Instagram, and you can also find me at my personal Instagram. It's DNS Alcien. But anyways, thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you guys at our next pay per view preview podcast episode. Take care. Thank you guys for tuning in.